Hello my friends, welcome to another exciting episode in our Photoshop effects series. In this video I'll be showing you how I designed this sunset poster inside of Photoshop. If you've not gotten your Smart Designer Premium asset, now is the time to get yours so you won't miss the 3D text, the light effects and every other things inside of this bundle. If you've not subscribed to my channel, now is the best time to subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos I'll be posting anytime from now. Without having to say much, let's get started. So the first thing, like always, click on File and click on New. This time I'm going to be using a 4x5. So 4x5 inches, please. And it's going to be a poster. So I'm just going to do just poster for the name. So you can use the name of your choice. When you're done, click Enter like this. Go to solid color and make sure you're using this color, right? You can copy my color code here and click OK when you're done. The first thing I'm going to do, these images that I use is inside the resource file. The resource file is in a link in the description of this video. So make sure to check that and tag along, right? So this is the image, but a couple of things I want to change with this image. I'll just go over to curves, click on curves, and I'm just going to bring this down like this to this point here. Make sure it's exactly at this point here, like this, and I'm just going to move it up just a little bit. And what I want to do is I don't want the entire image to be too dark. So what I want to do is I'd want to differentiate the dark areas from light areas. So let me Ctrl Z this. And what I want to do is go over to my brush, make sure you are working on your foreground color set to black and your flow is drastically reduced. I'm using a 4, so I can paint on these areas here that needs to be reviewed, like this region, somewhere around here, like this, you can see. And yeah, basically that's all I want to do. So I can turn this down just a little bit, and those areas that I have brightened up doesn't get affected like this. So I'm just going to use this way. If you make any mistake, you can Ctrl Z, and yeah, that's basically all I want to do with this. So I can choose to create a mask for this image, set my flow to like, let's see, probably I'm going to use anything within the range of 1 to 50 is fine. So I'm just going to use 49. Click on the mask, make sure your foreground color is set to black, and I'm just going to conceal these areas like this, and basically that's all I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to select these two images and I'm going to group them. It's either you right click and select group, or you just press the shortcut, which is Ctrl G, to group them. So as you can see, I've grouped them, so I can move them upward like this, right in position. So what I want to do is directly on top of this background layer, I'm going to create an ellipse. Hold down shift to draw a perfect ellipse like this. And sorry, that's a mistake. I'm going to close this back. So select the ellipse, Ctrl T, and increase it just like this. And when you're done, click Enter. I'm going to close this up. And with the ellipse selected, what I want to do again is convert it to smart object like this. So it's now a smart object. What I want to do is Ctrl J to make a duplicate copy of this, and I'm going to move it to the topmost layer by dragging or by selecting shift and the bracket key to move them up like this, right? I'm going to hide this. I'm going to leave only this visible, so I'm working on this now. So click on filter, click on blur, click on Gaussian blur like this, and increase the radius. I'm going to settle for this, click OK like this, and I'm going to rename this, so it's just going to be image. So you can see what I have here. So I'm just going to adjust the image, go to camera raw. I'm just going to make it pop more. And how do I achieve that? Very easy. Inside of camera raw, I'm just going to increase the texture. You can use my settings, increase my clarity, then also the dehaze value. I'm also going to increase the shadows like this, and I'm going over to the details where I'm going to sharpen the entire image. When I'm done, I'm just going to click OK like this. Okay, so you can see a huge difference between the before and after. So I'm just going to come back here to this one on top here, and I'm just going to change the blend mode first to color like this. So that's the first step. The next thing I want to do is go over to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur like this, and I'm going to increase my blur value. It's going to be much more higher than the first one we did, so somewhere around let's say 263 is fine. So when you've gotten your desired radius, you can click OK like this, and click on Ctrl T to activate the transform and increase the size like this, and click OK when you're done. You can see that the image has covered the entire canvas. What I would do next is reduce the fill so that you can have that realistic look, just like this. Okay, so things like this, you can use it for your DP or for your images or your social media or for even your posters, right? So we're not done yet. The last thing I'm going to do is the next thing I'm going to do here is go over to curve. Make sure you clip it to the image, and I'm just going to drag from this part here to this part here. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a shine on the image itself, right? So I'm going to conceal this, Ctrl I to invert the mask, and go over to my brush, select the brush, make sure your foreground color is set to white because your mask is now black, right? So you don't want to do a mistake of leaving it at black, and so invert it, and with your brush selected and your flow set to 49, you can paint in the highlights on the image like this. You can see the way I'm doing mine. On these areas it's going to be intense, right? And on these areas I'm going to reduce it to 3. My flow is set to 3. I'm just going to use for these areas like this. So before and after, you can see that it makes a whole lot of difference, right? So nicely done here. So next thing I want to do is bring in my text. I had this typed out already so as to save us time in this video, right? So we're almost done here. Next thing I want to do is click on the topmost layer and click on Ctrl Shift Alt and E, and it makes the snapshots, convert it to smart objects. And what you want to do is go over to filter gallery. Inside here, make sure you're selecting canvas, use my settings, scaling 100, relief 2, and top, right? You can play with the settings here. Instead of top you can use, but my favorite that I like to use here is the top relief, right? That's the light direction. So I'm going to leave it at top, and when I'm done I'm going to click OK like this, and this is what I have. You can see how the texture is. So it's like, these are some of the things you can actually do for your pictures to frame them and all of those things when you want to print and every other thing. So the last thing I'm going to do, create a new layer. My flow is set to 14. Increase the size of my brush, Ctrl Z. This isn't nice. So increase the size of my brush, and just going to add some lights on the 4 edges here, and you can see how well this has turned out to be, right? So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up by liking it, share, and in everything you do, don't leave if you have not subscribed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification. I'll see you in the next video just up above.